We're going to carry on to the next presenting company, and we're actually going back to Davina Konoy, the CEO of Element Apothec. I believe she is
Hi, I'm here.
ready to go. Hey,
Yes.
Davina.
Hi, sorry about that. Fun
All good.
technology issues, but I'm here. So
It's
let me just share
2020. We're
the
good.
screen. All right. So hi, I hope everybody's doing well. And I wanted to thank Brad for putting together another incredible event. I'm really happy to be here. I'm Davina, the CEO and co-founder of Element Apothec. Element Apothec is a new CBD-focused body care and wellness brand, bringing transparency and trust to a market that's been plagued by suspicion and lack of integrity. We seek to elevate this industry by bringing not only our luxurious line of clean and safe and effective products, but education to the conscious consumer. Element Apothec was born in a kitchen, not a lab. When my aunt was diagnosed with several medical conditions, she created products out of a need. The prescriptions and medications the doctors were providing to her were causing other symptoms. So she actually started growing her own cannabis plants in her living room, making Rick Simpson oil, and became certified in plant-based medicine and essential oils. That was over 10 years ago. Through the years, she's continued to fine-tune those formulations. About a year ago, I took over the company, partnered with medical advisors, and today we're bringing those products to the market. The problem today is that consumers who are to trust. Imagine you're a consumer, you've heard of CBD, or maybe you're already a consumer who knows about CBD, but you continue to hear about all of the problems that plague the industry. There's toxic and harmful ingredients. Labels are inaccurate. Low quality products with little to no transparency or variation. So many white labeled products on the market that you really don't know who's actually creating those products. There's little medical oversight, such a lack of consumer education. So really brands are not meeting the needs of today's conscious consumer. And the conscious consumer trend continues. Self-care, better for you trends are manifesting all over the place in general retail. Consumers are looking for companies that have trust, transparency, sustainability, and are mission driven. So many companies say they're purpose driven, but they really don't actually follow those protocols. COVID-19 has only led to a surge of socially responsible behaviors. On top of that, a lot needs to be done with education. Consumers' knowledge of cannabis is really lacking. Over 70% of people are unfamiliar with terms like the entourage effect and the endocannabinoid system, and are really still just trying to understand what THC and CBD mean. The solution is Element Apothec, the trustworthy brand that conscious consumers are demanding. So why will we be successful, you may be asking yourself? Because we have built a brand focused on creating clean, safe, and effective products with medical oversight and are committed to education. We've created a brand of trust for that conscious consumer that I mentioned earlier. Our never ever promise is our commitment to the consumer that we will never ever use any harmful or questionable ingredients in any of the products we create. And to validate this, we've received CertClean certification, Leaping Bunny, and continue to gain certifications in our products. We are also leading the market with innovative formulations, not just using CBD, but CBG, CBN, and other plant-based remedies. We are also committed, as I mentioned, to education. Dr. Swathi, our Chief Scientific Officer, who created the first pharmacist program accredited by PharmD, is leading the charge for our education and creating our own educational program for all of our brand ambassadors, retailers, and partners that work with us. Although there are hundreds of companies in this space, there is a clear opportunity for Element Apothec to take a market-leading position by meeting the needs of today's conscious consumer. And as you know, the market opportunity is huge, over $16 billion projected by 2022, and over 240 million new consumers coming to the market. But what's amazing is that we actually have access to the wellness market and all of the new consumers that have yet to try CBD, a $3.5 trillion market. So you can see, as you know, there's an opportunity for exponential growth. We have put together aggressive financials, but we feel that we are able to meet the needs of the consumers and will be able to do this. And how are we going to meet these goals? We've assembled a management and advisory team with over 60 years relevant experience. As I mentioned, our Chief Scientific Officer, Dr. Swathi, Dr. Marvin Singh, who's a head of integrative medicine for UC Irvine, Dr. Raja, who's an incredible integrative board certified dermatologist and professor at UC Davis, is leading our medical advisory team. And we have a strong board advisory team to continue to help us build our company. To build brand awareness and drive sales, we have built out a strong digital marketing strategy, including content marketing, influencer marketing, ads, and social media. Our business model is B2C, B2B, subscription-based, as well as building out a brand ambassador program. Some of our successful milestones to date is we just launched, as we mentioned earlier when Kim talked about it, we just started our pre-sales and our orders are shipping tomorrow. We've signed a partnership agreement with the premier medical GPO group, and that really attests to the strong team that we have on the medical advisory team. We have retail partnerships with Showfields. We're launching our products in Miami next week and in New York in February, and we're partnered with Showcase by Cal Ethos. In addition to that, we've secured influencers and tier 1 media outlets that are going to be covering our brand as we just launched. We've received pending B Corp certification and One for the Planet. And why did we do that? We wanted to show the consumers and our retailers and business partners that we really stand behind our words. We've also received CertClean certification, Clear for Me, and Leaping Bunny. And what are those? Those are certifications to validate that our products are clean and safe and that we're not using any or toxic ingredients. We're currently raising $500,000 on WeFunder, and anybody can invest. You can be accredited or non-accredited. For as little as $100, you can own a piece of Element Apothec. You may be asking yourself, why Element Apothec? It's trust, plain and simple. Invest now and join us on our journey to set a new standard of clean science. Element Apothec, never ever anything but good. And I'm done.
Thanks, Davina. Really great work putting all this together. Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to start with judge questions. Scott, I saw your hand first.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the presentation. I'm just curious what the FDA might have in store for us in 2021 and how that will affect. It seems to me there's a lot of product that might not make it on the shelves after that. And are you focused on that at all? And what do you think of the outlook is for next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of next year and the FDA, we're really trying to focus on, for our brand anyways, creating products that are forward thinking and meeting what we expect to come down the pipeline. So we're putting a lot of research behind our products. With the medical GPO that we're partnered with, we are going to be doing clinical observational studies that will be launching in 2021. So I expect that those are going to be some of the things. They're going to be looking for the research behind the ingredients and the products, and it's going to be upon the brands to really prove that their products meet those specific requirements.
Thank you.
Yeah, great question, Scott. Especially with the new administration coming in, it's going to be really interesting to see how FDA moves on these types of decisions. Jeff?
Yeah, hi. That was a fabulous presentation. Really good. So how much money have you raised so far, and who's that from?
Yeah, we just, so we've been raising on WeFunder. We've raised about $55,000. All of the additional money has been self-funded. We were waiting really to reach out to investors, bigger investors, until we launched our product, till we could prove that we had traction. And so we're at that point now where we're really looking to start gaining additional investment and really starting to hit that $500,000 investment that we're looking for.
And how much money have you spent on getting the approvals by those groups that you're clean, et cetera, et cetera? How much did that cost you?
I mean, it varied. Some of them ranged from a couple $1,000s. Some of them we actually formed partnerships with. The pending B Corp certification, a lot of that we did on our own instead of outsourcing and hiring. And so I would say under $5,000 to get all of those certifications.
Okay, we have a couple more minutes left for some questions.
Yeah, I have a question. So.
Oh, go ahead, Tim.
Sure. You know, and this kind of goes on to the point with the other question about FDA. Would you categorize yourself, Davina, as more of a CBD company or a body care company? But because I know you have other cannabinoids there too.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're looking at ourselves more as a wellness company to kind of encompass it, which, and I think people are also looking at wellness both from the outside, but also beauty is also looking at wellness because what you put inside also impacts outside. So we really classify ourselves more as a wellness brand than specifically CBD because that also kind of puts you in a bucket. Like you said, we do have the other phytocannabinoids and as additional research comes out on other phytocannabinoids, I mean, there's hundreds of them. We're going to really look to incorporate that into our products to make sure they're as effective as possible.
Thank you. Gary.
Hi, Davina. I just wondered, again, it's a growing space, but it's a very competitive space. How do you plan to, get the distribution that will really stand out from a lot of other well-funded competitors in the CBD topical space?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of multiple things, but we're really starting with the education and focusing on that to bring in awareness that we're different than some of the other brands that are out there, as well as focusing on our medical advisory team. I think there's a lot of companies that are pushing out products. There's a lot of white labeled products, but in speaking to some of the retailers are really excited about the educational opportunities that we offer, certifications, because when a consumer comes in and looks at the package, they can quickly say, okay, this feels safe. It's vegan, it's plant-based, they're clean products. It's a company that gives back. So we're really trying to create the pillars of what the consumer today is looking for. And I think a lot of companies are missing that point right now.
Just on that point, Davina, sorry to jump in. What is your current customer base and what are the demographics?
So I mean, we just launched, as I said, but we have built up a quite a good email list. But we really look at our consumer from a psychographic perspective. We're not putting them in specifically age range. And I know there's pros and cons on both sides from a demographic or psychographic perspective. But in terms of even some of the SEO and search and ads, we're looking for that consumer that's looking for clean products, that is looking for sustainability, that's looking for transparency. And even in our packaging, we've gone out of the way to make sure, like our lotion package is sugarcane ethanol and we use glass. And so we're looking for that consumer where that really matters, where the products, where the mission, the purpose of the company is what drives their decision to buy the products.
Great, no, fantastic presentation. I like what you're doing with the educational side of it too. Consumers are still skeptical on all sorts of products.
Yeah, there's so much that's needed on the educational side, and anything any of us can do, it elevates the entire industry.
Thank you, Davina. That makes up our time. Carol, I know you had a question.
Yes. Thank you.
You want to just make it very
question,
brief response, please.
Yes.
Okay. My question is regarding trademarks and IP. Where do you have trademarks already? Do you have any kind of patent? Tell me about which jurisdictions do you have trademarks in on the US?
Yeah, so
and congratulations. It's always great to see women in the space.
Yes, thank you. We are starting to explore that. It's a little tricky on the patent side, specifically with formulations, because once you put that out there, then it's much easier for anybody to replicate that. We are exploring that up, but at this point, we don't have patents. We have been very protective over our IP and with the manufacturer that we're working with to really manage the combination of the formulations that we have. But we are open to exploring it and are looking at some options currently.